Well, far from scaling back its nuclear program, Iran now says it intends to expand it. Tehran just announcing plans to construct its second nuclear power plant. This one will be just north of the plant Tehran already has in Bushehr. Iran also now dismissing calls to end its uranium enrichment. This even after Russia delivered nuclear fuel to its Bushehr facility. So here's the deal. You've got this Bushehr facility in Iran. It's a nuclear power plant. And Russia is shipping over supplies to make it operational, okay? And Iran says, well, that's not enough. We want not only one, we want two. This all unfolds as President Bush says, hey, now that Russia's helping you out, you don't need your own uranium enrichment program. You can abandon all those plans whatsoever. And Iran says, no, we want more. So what does it all mean for the United States, and just how worried should we be about this exchange? Joining us now is former Special Assistant to the President for National Security Affairs, P.J. Crowley. Good morning, P.J.
Good morning. Happy holiday.
And to you. Merry Christmas. So this is an interesting situation because Russia's cut this deal to help Iran. It was on the back burner for a while the world was watching Iran, telling it that it needed to basically shape up or the sanctions were going to be imposed on it. So finally they reached this deal. Russia's shipping over supplies. They're making this power plant operational, this nuclear power plant operational. Iran says, we want more. What do you make of it?
Well, first of all, the Bushehr issue has been around for a decade or more, and this is really the last shoe to drop. And the only good news here is that in providing nuclear fuel to Iran for the Bushehr plant, Russia has gotten agreements that there will be close international inspections through the IAEA. So that's a positive, and it actually would be a model where established nuclear powers like the United States or like Russia could provide nuclear fuel to countries like Iran or others who want to develop a civilian nuclear capability. Obviously, that has to be negotiated, something that either the United States or Iran has been unwilling or unable to do.
But are you at all uncomfortable with Russia and, as a result, the world having to rely on Iran's word that it's not going to use this nuclear fuel for any purpose other than energy?
Well, certainly that is the danger within the existing non-proliferation treaty, where countries have a right to develop civilian nuclear power. The problem all along has been that it's a relatively short leap from a civilian program to a military program. The NIE says right now that Iran does not have a military program, but they could change that calculation at any moment. Iran is enriching nuclear fuel not because it has to, but because it wants to. It believes that it has this right. As a Persian country, it wants to exercise this right and believes that it gets some leverage and some legitimacy in doing so and showing its technical prowess. So obviously the bottom line here is that if we want to see Iran move in a different direction and either cultivate a nuclear program under tight international monitoring or forsake it at all, we have to actually engage in a meaningful conversation with them and try to test a grand bargain, which has been very difficult to do.
Is this all a farce? Is this all a big ruse? I mean, French President Nicolas Sarkozy just said recently, everyone knows what the uranium enrichment program over in Iran is for, and it's not energy.
Well, certainly. I mean, Iran will make a strategic calculation at some point. As long as it continues to spin centrifuges, it will eventually acquire the ability to build a bomb if it chooses.
And now, now it feels like Russia's helping.
Well, Russia is just simply helping with the Bushehr plant. I think ultimately the solution here has to be, to have a conversation with Iran. It has to be led by the United States, nobody else, on the range of security issues that divide us, and see if we can't acquire a grand bargain where, in forsaking nuclear power, Iran gets a lot of other things. But there are hardliners both on the Iranian side and the U.S. side that will make that kind of conversation very difficult to occur.
Yeah, and Russia has said it will watch this program very carefully, and it will have the products made at that Bushehr plant shipped back to it. So we'll see Iran's desire to have yet another one built. In any event, P.J. Crowley, thanks so much for being here with your insights on it.
You know, one thing politicians love to see.